Warning: the following video contains disturbing material that may be inappropriate for younger viewers. Parental discretion is advised. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome to the month of October serial killer-thon. And on day 8, I give you Albert DeSalvo, the Boston Strangler. Also again, YouTube won't monetize my videos because of the content, so I need your help to share, like, and subscribe. And if you don't like this video, let me know in the comments down below why, and I can make it better for you. And please guys, subscribe because only 2.2% of you are subscribed. Now, with that being said, here's Albert DeSalvo. Roll that intro. The case of the Boston Strangler is one of the most enduringly mysterious of all serial murder. What is known for sure is that between June 1962 and July 1964, 11 women were murdered in the Boston area, all sexually assaulted and strangled. Most people at the time assumed there was a single serial killer on the loose, and dubbed him the Boston Strangler. Others, including many of the police investigations, thought that there were two killers, because the first set of victims were all older women between the ages of 55 and 75, while 5 of the last 6 to die were women in their teens and early 20s. The later murderers were also significantly more violent than the others. Some concluded that there was a first murderer fixed on older women, perhaps motivated by the hatred of his mother, followed by a copycat killer using the same MO but preying on younger women. However, all this speculation was fueled when in early 1965, a man named Albert DeSalvo, who had recently been arrested for a series of sexually assault cases, confessed to all 11 murders, as well as some other killings that had not previously been attributed to the Strangler. Albert DeSalvo was born on September 3, 1931. He was one of 6 children born into the Frank and Charlotte DeSalvo family. Frank DeSalvo was a violent man who dealt out regular physical abuse to his family and was jailed twice before Charlotte eventually divorced him in 1944. Albert became a troubled teenager, repeatedly arrested for breaking and entering, assault, and other minor offenses. In 1948, age 17, Albert joined the army and was stationed in Germany. While living there, he met and married a German woman, Ingrid Beck, who came with him when he was transferred back to the States, to Fort Dix in New Jersey. At Fort Dix, DeSalvo was accused of sexually assaulting a 9-year-old girl, but the matters were dropped when the mother declined to press charges. However, the affair resulted him in being discharged from the army in 1956. At this point, Albert and Ingrid, plus their baby daughter Judy, moved back to his hometown. Over the next few years, DeSalvo worked a series of jobs and was generally regarded as a likable man by his fellow workers. Not all was well though. He was arrested several times for burglary, and there was considerable sexual tension between him and his wife, Ingrid. Ingrid was very unenthusiastic sexually after their daughter had been born with a hereditary disease, and she was terrified of having another handicapped child. Albert, meanwhile, demanded sex from his wife 5 to 6 times a day. This manic sexual behavior soon led DeSalvo into trouble. During the late 1950s, reports began coming in from women about a measuring man, a man who would claim he's from a modeling agency and would persuade women to let him run his measuring tape all over their bodies. When DeSalvo was once more arrested for burglary, on March 17, 1960, he surprised police by confessing he was the measuring man. Due to lack of violence involved in the crime, DeSalvo received a relatively lenient 2-year sentence, with time off for good behavior. He was released after 11 months. Far from teaching him a lesson, however, his time in prison seemed to have turned him into more of an aggressive predator. Over the next 2 years, he would sexually assault hundreds of women, often carrying out more than one on the same day. He was also known as a green man, since he often made his assaults while wearing green work clothes. These sexual assault cases were carried out during the same time period as the Boston Strangler killings, but the police made no connection between them at the time. On November 3, 1964, DeSalvo was arrested on suspicions of being the Green Man, after a witness gave the police a description that reminded them of the measuring man. DeSalvo promptly confessed and was sent to Brightwater State Hospital for psychiatric observation. While he was there, he confessed to a fellow inmate and subsequently to the police. that he was also the Boston Strangler. The police were delighted to have the Strangler presented to them on a plate this way. However, various problems remained. In particular, one of the witnesses who had seen the Boston Strangler, including a surviving victim, were able to pick out DeSalvo from a police lineup. In the end, DeSalvo, represented by a famous lawyer, F. Lee Bailey, made a deal with the police that led him to receive a life sentence for the Green Man's sexual assaults, but never being formally charged with the Strangler's murders. In November 1973, DeSalvo was stabbed to death by a fellow inmate. However, his death failed to bring speculation to an end. Many people believe that DeSalvo's only confessed to the killings as part of a deal with the inmate he confessed to earlier, whereby he would claim the reward money for finding the Boston Strangler, and he would give half the money to DeSalvo's family to provide for them while he was in jail. However, today the conscientious form experts who spent a substantial amount of time with DeSalvo is that the man imprisoned as a Green Man was indeed the legendary Boston Strangler. That's all the time we have for today, guys. I hope you liked the video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on who you think the next serial killer is going to be. You can follow me or reach out to me on Twitter, and I have a Twitch channel which I'm going to start gaming soon. Both will be linked in the description down below. Until next time, guys. Sweet dreams.